Hey, baby. Hey.
How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? Before we do this, I have something I want to share with you.
Okay.
Okay. I really appreciate you. Right? I love you. Okay, and I love you for a long time, for some years.
For a
And
long time.
yeah, a long time. Yeah, yeah, love you a long time. Okay, but not no, but what I like to do really is to express that love, and as I have, if I can get your hand,
Okay.
yes, do that.
Okay.
Just to show you that I do
Sure.
love you. Yes,
We love you.
I do.
Okay.
Well,
So, what was that all about?
well, I just want to show you that I appreciate you, and also, it was time for an upgrade. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's time for a podcast. Hey,
Yeah, we're on it.
yeah.
Trying to be corny,
Let's
guys.
just-
I'm just
hey.
okay. So, it's day 5.
Day 5.
It's day 5
Yes, sirree.
of
Day
our
5. The 5-day love series.
I hope you've enjoyed it or learned something. Either let us know what you may or may not even benefited from it. But when
Sure.
we talk about love, we just know that there's so many different aspects of it, and that there are different feelings when it comes to love, right?
You say feelings?
And feelings. There are different type of emotions. There are different type of aspects of love.
Yeah, and levels, right.
And levels of
Yep.
love. So we're on our last day of our love series,
Day 5.
Day 5.
Last day, yes.
and we want to say the best for last.
Yes, we did save the best for last.
We
We
did.
did. I think
We did.
we're probably going to talk a little more about this. No, really. Why do we say the best for last? I don't know whether it's the best or not for last, but I would say that it is. I'm not gonna say common, but a lot of people desire this type of love.
They
Let's
do.
say that.
They do.
And
And as we talk more about it, we realize that we're not in the same era that that may have initiated the godly love and the pure love that was first originated, right? So, saying that, man has done all kind of things with this word love.
sure.
And today, on our 5th day, we want to talk about the importance of this love, knowing that even in this love, it can fade, and it can also be pretty hot.
Yeah, it can become intense.
It can be intense.
Without delay, we're going to talk to you. Today, we're going to talk about
What kind of love?
Eros love.
Eros love.
Okay? And you're probably asking the question,
Google
who
that.
are we?
Google
yes.
that.
And
But-
you're probably asking, who are we in the
Who are we?
meantime? Well, Charles,
Melendia.
okay, just keeping it real. And we are relationship advocates. That
Yeah.
means we are for the success of your relationship as
and
well as
ours.
ours. So we're learning together, we are sharing together, and we hope that this has been beneficial to you as well. And we're open for comments. We're open. Drop us a line. Ask you to share our videos and anything that you may want us to discuss. We'd be glad to talk over and even do a live from a Zoom standpoint. You
Yeah.
get guests in as well, so
And we
we're
can have a
open for that.
conversation,
And we
an
just
open
just
dialogue together.
absolutely talk
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
family. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so in this 5-day series, we thought it was important, especially because of the state of our country
in the world.
in the
really.
world, and how it has set a different tone for people that have to evaluate themselves as to whether they truly love their neighbor,
Sure.
whether they have the love toward their family and friends, whether there's conditional love.
Even love towards each other in a relationship or marriage.
Exactly.
There's
And
yeah,
and
definitely.
whether they even have a godly love. So when we tackle these different phases or of love this week, you get a chance, go back and listen to them, and do some study yourself and see how we kind of wanted to break down the understanding of the various. There's more than five, but we just wanted to hone in on these particular
Yes.
five.
Right.
And knowing that, as we said, these are Greek words. You
Right.
know,
They are.
I am not a Greek, and you can tell some of the words I was not saying right.
Sure. Right.
But this particular love is, say it again,
Eros.
eros.
Somebody say eros, but eros. Yes.
An eros
Uh huh.
love.
And what does that mean? Greek.
Greek, it's well, it's an exotic. It's an exotic love. It's a
Romantic love.
romantic, sexual,
Sexual. Right.
lustful
Right. Desire.
love.
Type. Yeah.
So, and do you have that toward your mate?
And the thing is too, it's important, and we say in a mate. Now, one thing I want to say is that we talked a little bit earlier, because what I believe is this: intimacy was made for a purpose. Okay. I think over the years we've lost that purpose that our Creator had intended from the start. Why did our Creator, why did God, why did He create intimacy? Ask that question. Ask yourself, why did He create intimacy or romance? Why? Was that for everybody, full, free game? Like today, that's kind of where we are. And we've sort of distorted the original intent, from the beginning, because the romance was, and the sexual desires and the sensual relationship was created for man and woman when God started, and even in the marriage, that was the intent. Things has changed so much now from the original intent, because it's now become free for all. But in the beginning, it's a selfless relationship as well, meaning that with eros, just like you and I married, the approach should be a selfless. We talked about a selfless love the other day. I think that had to do with agape love was a selfless love, and also eros should be a selfless love, because again, I shouldn't be when during our romantic times, I shouldn't be thinking about my own satisfaction or man, I gotta get this thing, gotta get mine. No, I shouldn't be that, because that's kind of what we've distorted from the beginning. I should be thinking about pleasing my wife, and she in turn ought to be thinking about pleasing me. So this again, as we say, it is a sexual love, it is a romantic love, and that's the thing with that. And it is a pure love. That's the intent. It's purity. So with that, to be enjoyed in a marriage. Not just everybody. And today, I'm not trying to put anybody down that are engaging in sensual, sexual, relationships. I'm not trying to do it, because what I'm saying is that God had a purpose, okay? And we don't always follow that purpose, but it doesn't change the purpose, because we have also failed. We have engaged in, before we were married, the shacking, the living in thing we have. But it doesn't change God's intent. We didn't do it like He desired, but again, the intent's still the same, So go ahead.
So when you get into a union, come together as a union, and you're unified as a couple, and in the marriage, there's a satisfaction. And I do know that there's so many couples that yearn for this and don't have it.
Sure.
So just because you're married doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have this type of love. This is a love that you have to be selfless about and look at what could be satisfying to your partner. So it's also something that we talked about, a love that can be developed before you're married. Now,
Meaning what would
meaning I
clarify.
had I mean, okay.
clarify, right?
So I had an eros, I say it all wrong.
Right, go ahead. Yeah.
Love toward Charles before we got married. I
Ooh.
had a sexual attraction toward him. I had a physical attraction.
We failed. This is it.
It's not the point. All I'm saying, it's not so much.
We sure did have that.
All I'm saying, it's
we
not
didn't
even
do
about.
it. Go ahead.
It's not even about passing or failing.
Well,
it's the fact of whether or not
sure we had
we
it.
had it.
Oh, my.
Okay, it's the fact that we had it. We had that emotion.
Sure.
We had that attraction.
Oh,
we
oh,
had
yeah,
that feeling and a need to desire to want each other. And in courtship and in getting to meet and getting close to someone that you hope to marry and anticipate to marry, there is an unrealistic expectation if someone say you shouldn't have that.
Shouldn't have a
Have
desire
that,
to be
that
with
type
one
of
another.
love. So
And it's more or less it should be, a controlled, emotional desire. But we know today people don't care about that, and it's usually, I'm going to try it before I buy it kind of thing. That's kind of where we are as a society,
Yeah.
and that's where we are.
Yeah.
Not saying that's where we should be, but that's where we are.
yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
I'm kind of wanting to focus on when you have captured that in your relationship, in your marriage, or as you're building into. The thing about it, when you're courting and you're getting up to that point, and you have those, intimate emotions and things like that, that's where it's a point where you have to be able to have some type of control. And I'm not telling you it ain't gonna be easy, especially if it's somebody that you truly love.
Sure.
You're going to marry, or because at this point, and at a certain point in people's lives, when they're seeking relationships or dating, they're dating to mate. The idea of being able to date someone to see if they have those characteristics to be my mate. Okay. And if that's the case, then the more you get involved with the individual, the more you may have those physical attractions. And granted, when you meet someone that y'all tend to click, there is a physical attraction. Because when he saw me, I may have been young, but he was good.
No, I was young too. I wasn't 18 when I met you, so stop trying to say like I was
young.
Legal.
But he was.
Yeah, I was young.
My point in saying that
You
these
dance well.
emotions.
You dance well.
Anyway, these emotions that we capture even before getting that solidified relationship of marriage is still there.
Sure.
It's still there. It's just that how you have to maintain the control before you get too deep into the situation. But as you progress and you have made this into a union and you are together as a couple, one of the questions we can ask is, so when you are a couple and you're married and everything, because I can say your eros love is a lustful love.
Okay.
It is a lust.
Lust
It's a lustful love.
Right.
So it's a lust toward each other. So should a married couple have lust for each other?
You say, should they have? I mean, what is lust, as we say? Lust is a desire.
It's strong.
It's a strong and desire. It's not always sexual now. Let's be that, because you can lust for something to eat, or lust for, this desire to have that piece of cheesecake with strawberries on it. It's a desire, a strong desire to have something. And I think that in a marriage, it actually, that's what keeps the marriage alive to a degree. That we turning on each other, and we have that like, boy, look at her. I think we're gonna have to get jiggy tonight, whatever it is. Yeah, I can say jiggy. Yeah, I still say I'm from the era, jiggy. Yeah, whatever we're gonna do. Well, you need knocking boots or whatever some people say. But the thing about it is this: that we should always have, let's say, an element of we can say lust or that desire, to put that strong desire out there. We should have that for each other, because the moment I see my loved one, and she walks past me and to get my attention and I'm into something else, I'm not a gamer or anything and I'm playing my PlayStation or none of that, that's not me, but I may have something else to take me away that I hardly notice her walking by, then we got an issue. So we should always have that little element, I think, of strong desire, desiring lust towards each other.
So as we talk about Eros love, it's it's an ancient Greek type thing, right? And the psychology of it is referring to sensual, passionate. It's a form, like we say, term of erotic. And most of the time, it's associated with a certain holiday that we know of, right? Well, why you gotta say it like that?
I just say,
No,
yeah,
rewind
definitely.
and see how his face looks.
I just say, hold on. The reason I did it, because you said some things about the history. So I'm just saying, knowing the history, a lot of us, you're talking about Valentine's Day, for instance. But there are some connections with that. The Cupid thing, that we know of. And it really doesn't have the purest of beginnings in history, because Cupid, what he did, he shot the arrow, he shot it into two people, whether they knew each other or not. And when those two people were shot by his arrow, guess what? They looked at each other and they decided to get it on, in most cases.
Was that a Eros love?
That was Eros is sexual. Eros is sensual. Is a romantic. So yes, it was. So that was the origin, or if you look at mythology and legend, that's some of it. And then he also could shoot an arrow in someone to give them a broken heart. So he did good and evil with his arrows of shooting. So there's some things, and I know the way we do nowadays, some people, we probably don't know that history behind that and some of the other, Greek, arrows, and that. But the thing is that, though, whether Valentine's Day or whatever, we look at, and I guess the heart of someone special to you, and I guess, and we say too that can be any day, not necessarily February 14th,
right.
but any day that you want to acknowledge the one that's special in your life, then you ought to do that. Don't wait till then.
So our whole concept for today is talking about the good and the natural feeling.
Sure.
Of
Okay.
the Eros love. Right? And how it's a great thing. I mean, it's a powerful thing. It's really a unified strengthening. I've even read something where it's like life energy, that type of love. When you are able to share something like that with someone, and you have that passion, and granted, we know of couples that's been married 50, 60, 70, 80.
Cool, 80. I don't know anybody.
Your parents?
70,
Okay.
70.
But a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. So do you think couples like that may still have that drive and passion? Maybe.
Maybe you
and
need
maybe
to
not.
ask some of those couples that. Don't know.
I will.
Yeah, I'm not trying to find out.
I'm just saying that
Yeah,
that's a
right.
longevity love.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is, and it's a love that gives you some type of energy.
But excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. But I think too is that as relationships are started, usually there is a sort of friendship type of love. We talked about philia, like a more or less a friendship or brother type of love. I think the start of that and leading to an eros love in a relationship or in marriage, and I think over years that can develop back to more friendship, because just as people are getting older, the norm is they don't become more sexual as they get older, and they're not as romantic. I mean, I'm not saying that elderly they don't, but I'm saying typically, on a note, they become less sexual or intimate. And then they become, let me finish one second. So they become more back to the friendship kind of thing, the philia type love. So it's philia, it may start, then the eros, early, even in marriage, and as they go along, then it may become more philia.
And I was going to say.
Go ahead, say.
But, interrupting him, but I was going to say.
Go ahead, girl.
Still with that, it would be glorious, even if it, as you get older, maybe parts don't work like you used to, and you're 80, 90 years old, but still have that passion.
Oh, absolutely, right.
Still have that passion, still have that desire, still have that sensual, way of looking at your partner, having that desire that, I still want you, baby.
Well,
so
exactly.
I don't care how old you are.
Right.
I mean, and how young you are.
And that's why the blue pill came out too. You know
what?
Yeah.
So well.
I mean, really, seriously.
Whatever works.
That got a lot of people that were sitting on the sideline. They decided to go in the game again and play. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, did you realize I have a question? Do you know whether or not EROS have a healthy or unhealthy balance to it?
So can EROS be healthy or unhealthy? It can be both.
Well, we know it's healthy.
Right. We know it can be both.
We know it can be healthy.
Yes.
So what do you?
You want to talk about?
What would you say would be the healthy aspects?
Okay.
Of this type of love. Okay,
so healthy aspects of EROS are, as I said earlier, it's a selfless love. That's I think a healthy aspect of it. That's a positive aspect, because in being selfless, like I said earlier, like you and I, when we're intimate, then my focus shouldn't be to get mine, so to speak, and leave you hanging or whatever. So that's a healthy expression there, and in that the partners, my desire is to satisfy you, my wife, and your desire should be to satisfy me, in that. That's a positive. Also, one of the positive aspects of an EROS love, just like you mentioned, if people are dating or so, and you mentioned about control, if you feel, like I'm about to lose it or whatever. The thing is, the positive thing is waiting to that degree, for people to hit that matrimony or the commitment of marriage is what I'm saying. So in other words, not just being led by the desires, don't let the desires control you, or just like some say with men, don't let your head lead you other places, meaning, what I'm saying, just to keep it appropriate. Okay, so, and then the thing about it, usually with that, the positive part, if we're in a relationship, hopefully there's love if you and I are married. Hopefully we're in a loving relationship that we love each other. Hopefully you and I, if we are married, we love each other. So I say, okay, forgive me. But anyway, so that's the thing. So that's part of it. So, and when we engage in that EROS love, it should build us up. We should be built up. Should build up. We feel closer. We're in a relationship, and it's just, hey, one flash, we join together. This is that. And then it also confirms the commitment that we made to each other. That's some of the healthy parts of this. And also, it should be an exclusivity, exclusive relationship,
right.
As well. So, and with that, satisfying, fulfilling. Now, we look at some of the unhealthy aspects.
So,
what do you say?
And when you think about, so what would be unhealthy about EROS love? What would be, well, one would be, if you think about it, is if it's being practiced without commitment.
Okay.
And you just, you have your your affection and sexual drive is like tapping everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
you
right.
are here, there, and
All over the
everywhere.
place, yeah.
You have no sense of commitment.
Right,
And you
right.
just, you know, and you say it's love, but actually it's just a lust that you tap and
Right.
everything. That's pretty unhealthy.
Sure.
And then that drive to just let's do it. You know, people you may just meet in a club or somewhere, or you know, you just met yesterday. You just got that quick, wow, this I want this right now. So that can be pretty unhealthy because both of those examples could be detrimental as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
So and then it's just lust. It's just pure lust. It's just not a total genuine love, you know, for the person. It's just totally because I want it and I want it now, you know, that type of thing. Also, just to be able to release whatever you got stored up going on. I ain't done it in a long time.
Yeah,
And I just need to release.
You remember that growing up, some of the things, some of the myths and the lies they used to tell growing
So
up.
we're not gonna go into
Yeah,
that.
you know.
But
I mean, you know
but
what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
Yeah, I know what you're
But
saying.
anyway, she won't let me say it.
Yeah.
But, okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So another unhealthy way for Eros love is inviting others into
The more the merrier, you know.
into
Yeah,
your
really.
connection. You know, you got
Right.
3 and 4. Some people got that menage a trois thing going on, and that's you know. But it is it could be pretty. Well, it is pretty unhealthy.
Yes, right.
You know, because of all type of reasons. I
Right.
don't need to get too deep in that because you have some idea. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that was not the creator's intent, you know.
Right.
For
Right.
that way.
And
Go ahead.
then, you know, last I can think of is it could just be totally out of control. You know, out of control. Can you have these type of in a marriage? Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You can have
Absolutely.
one that's a lot more, you know, than the other. And it
Active,
can be
as I said, right.
totally out of control, and you know it just become then another one, you know, then you could be in there and your husband or wife wanting to invite other people,
Sure.
and you ain't for that.
And the thing about it, they're just like it's talking about like insatiable, a person that cannot be satisfied, because again that's a reality. And some people might feel, whoa, we were just together, you know, last night or today, and the person goes off and does something else somewhere else. So there, people just can't be satisfied.
Right.
So again, it ought to be in the constraints that the way our Creator intended it.
Absolutely.
You know?
So when we talk about this type of love, I'm fully aware, because as a little girl, when you know, sit and watch the fairy tales and things that you see on TV, you imagine having this connection with the love of your life. You get
Sure.
married, and
Right.
you have those emotions and those feelings. And as you get older, you see the reality of this is what I truly would desire in a
Right.
relationship. This is what I desire in my husband and my wife. You know, I desire to have that affection, and it's so important, because think about it too, because you can have this Eros love and actually not be sexual, because something could happen.
Right, and not be satisfied, you know, with that.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Sure.
medically.
Yeah, exactly.
Medically,
Right.
if something happened to one of you all medically and are not able to perform,
Right.
can you still have that Eros love towards someone? Yes, I can still desire you. I can still want to be able to satisfy you. I still would want that satisfaction of that committed type feeling. So granted, when you're moving toward those type of relationships and desire those type of relationships, if you're not married or if you're in the dating scene, which I know is rough out here.
Oh, right.
Well, I don't know that because I ain't.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
trying, but
yeah.
I just hear.
You hear the stories,
Yeah, I
right,
hear the
right.
story. It's
Sure.
rough out here,
Absolutely.
and having the hope of, I'm not gonna say even that, you know, Prince Charming, Princess Charming, whatever. We're just talking about the beauty of a quality,
Committed.
relationship.
Sure,
That
right.
you can share this type of love without feeling forced
Guilty.
or guilty. or unwanted. This is all something that you want together.
Sure.
I want to please him. He wants to please me. We want to please each other. We want to have this type of love that, good, bad, or indifferent when it comes to sex, I still love him. I still want him. And that can be hard for some
Sure.
people.
Sure.
You know,
Right.
and that's not to say that everybody passed that test.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
but as we've always talked about, communication is so vital in any relationship.
Absolutely.
So,
right.
Communicating to your significant other, your spouse, your mate, your needs and desires, and letting them know how you feel, and being able to feel that passion with each other.
And to be honest, you know, about
honest.
because again, we know that in relationships, everybody is not satisfied. Or we had a talk we did a while back, and it was entitled "Sex," you know, lies, you know, in the bedroom. The thing about it, you've got to be honest with your spouse. And that's the point of growing. So we can have that communication, that talk, and just like every man does not satisfy his wife, every woman does not satisfy her husband, but at least you ought to be to a point that you can have the conversation, and then you can tell each other exactly what it is you desire. And if it, just like I said then, if it means take my hand and point it where you want me to have it, then that's where we're going to have to get on that level, because it's about us being selfless and satisfying one another in our relationship. So you got to be willing to go down to that level if that's what it means.
Exactly.
Right,
So, Eros love,
Eros
a
love.
lustful, exotic, and sexual love
Yes.
that you can
Eros.
have with someone in your life that you are totally committed to, and that
Yes.
you have made a commitment and unification with by marriage.
Yes.
So
I gotta holler out my boy Thomas, brother. I mean, from childhood, I gotta say, I love you, my brother. From childhood, man. I
so
mean,
he
guys.
got to tune
Yes,
in
sir.
to yesterday about
Yeah,
that.
this is
that
our day
brotherly
5.
love.
Yeah, day 5. We're talking about the Day Love series. Of course, my daughter, love you, girl. You know, appreciate
Yes.
your support as well, and we support you with your project, Trap and Retreat. So,
Yes. Yes.
5-day love series. We've been talking about. First day we talked about the agape love, you know, which is to the Creator, you know, and then that brother, you know, that love from the Father, how He looks on us. It's a selfless love.
Right.
Boom, it happens. Again, we talked about that on the second day. We talked about the philosia love, philosia.
Not mistaken by the
Not fellatio, not any of that, but philosia, alatia. It's a Greek word, and it talks about, you know, love as well.
Self-love.
It's a self-love, having that. And we feel that in the order, first you got to love your Creator, and then that helps you to love yourself. And then you can, in turn, love someone else.
Yes.
So on the day 3, we talked about the storage or the storge love. These
The
are Greek
familiar
words
love.
again. It's a familiar, you know, family type love and that environment. And then on day 4, we talked about the filial love,
Right.
which is short. He was talking brotherly love for the city of Philadelphia.
A
You know, people do that.
non-sexual love.
Non-sexual love, but it can involve touching to empower people, you
And to
know,
heal.
to pray for people, to touch and to rejuvenate folk. And today, on that last day, the day 5, Eros love, talking about an intimate love, sexual love, romantic love, and we mentioned how it was God's intent for that to happen in His order, and nowadays it's all out of order, and we just want to share that and just talk, and we appreciate the support.
and that he has that Eros love to me.
Wait a minute, what you doing?
What
What you doing?
After we
Hey,
get
no,
off
wait,
here.
we're going to end this in a minute. Stop. But anyway, look, I appreciate this woman here, Melendia. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. 36 years of marriage, 43, knowing her, still have a desire for her. Sister still turn me on. I ain't ashamed to say it.
I know my poor daughter like it.
And
Yeah, okay.
whatever. That's how she
Okay.
get here. She better not say that. So love this woman. Love her unconditionally. You know, we're growing together. We make our mistakes together as well. We've made a lot of mistakes, though we've had some successes. We want to thank our Creator for that. And again, we want to share our life, and we just want to be open with just keeping it real, man.
Yeah,
So if you got any comments, definitely please include them, because we are open as well. Okay, so I actually say this was very educational.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley, and our prayer is for our daughter, because we know she desires, to be in a
Looking for that
positive
Boaz for her.
relationship.
Okay, and she's like,
And
okay,
that's our
that's
prayer.
enough, y'all.
That's our
okay.
prayer.
But
Okay,
anyway, these videos will still be uploaded. They'll be uploaded on YouTube, and they're also on Facebook and some snippets on Instagram. Please subscribe if you get on our YouTube channel,
Share,
so you can
right.
hear some things that we put out, and share with friends and neighbors and family, and let's talk about it. Let's have some conversations. So,
Absolutely. Right.
this was very helpful to me, to help me actually get more clarity with the different aspects of love. And I love you guys for tuning in and sticking with us.
Absolutely.
And with our last day, this won't be the last time we talk about some type of series. So
Right. No.
thanks again for being here with us. If you got anything that you like to share, or if you even wanted to come on camera and say something, let me know. But until then, we're going to just get ready to peace out here in a second, or not.
Well, we got a little thing song. You know it.
That you can
Just
sing
keeping
with
it
us.
real. Sing it with
Sing
us.
with us,
Just
right?
keeping it real, y'all. Life, relationships.
Hey.
Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Just keeping it real.
Charles
All right,
and
guys.
Melendia.
Thanks so much for
Love
tuning
you all.
in,
Be blessed.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Oh, we done?
Bye.
Yep.